Right, so I have a little bit of video catch up to do. I did a bunch of things to this already that I haven't actually made any video or pictures of. Figured I'd show them so anybody can find them useful. You know, I think it'll be pretty helpful as there's a lot of stuff for these. Not necessarily great instructions on how to do everything. Some are better than others, but just wanted to show a little bit about what I did recently. So this is a Rubicon Recon. It actually came with a set of steel side steps, but with the 35s that I have on here and possibly a lift that I might be doing later, it is a little bit cumbersome getting in and out. This is, a daily driven vehicle as well, so I want to make sure that it's easy for me, passengers, my wife, kids and all that to get into. So I wanted to get something a little bit more, I guess, daily driver friendly, but also give me nice ground clearance. So when I do want to take it, off roading and over areas where I want my ground clearance, that I kind of have the best of both worlds. So I looked at a bunch of different options. I was looking at the rock slide engineering ones, which obviously has got really good reviews. One of the things I didn't like about that was that it is made from steel, which is good. Obviously, it's way stronger and it actually functions as a rock slider where none of the other ones do. But it's also a lot of extra weight, and I'm not going to be doing anything with rocks, so I don't really need the strength of that. So what attracted me to these ones was that it's very similar in concept and design to the rock slide engineering. It has a pivoting step that drops down. So I'll just open the door real quick so you can see what that looks like. I'll open the back one. So I had the sensors in there, and I didn't unlock it. Great. All right, let's just open this one then. So you can see there, it deploys just like that. And it has a light LED that's all included in the kit. If you can see that in there, there you go. I installed this myself. It really wasn't too bad. The nice thing about it is that this is all, I believe, 6061 aluminum. And because of that, it's strong for what it is. It's very sturdy. I think it's rated to hold 600 pounds or so. And it doesn't weigh a lot. So the nice thing about this was that the way you install it is you got to install these brackets. So you can see one there. There's 3 of them that go up, and then you have to mount this to those brackets. And the nice thing about this was that since there wasn't too much weight, it was pretty easy for me to pick this up and hang it by myself. I didn't need any help. I didn't have any help, which is, kind of a big factor there as well. So that was really neat. And then obviously I don't have to worry about any corrosion. It's aluminum. Even if this thing chips and whatever, it's not going to do anything. Aluminum doesn't corrode like steel does. So for me, this worked out well. One thing that I noticed, so it did, the wiring harness and all that stuff it came with, there's great instructions that Aries provide on how to do the install and how to run the wires. The interesting thing that I found out from the wiring and from the control box, actually, I have the control box mounted. Let's unlock the door. I have the control box mounted somewhere under that back seat there, which you probably can't see. And when I looked at it, it actually says Rock Slide Engineering. So I suppose they licensed the technology. I'm thinking that's what it is, because I'm looking at, your magnets there and your sensors, there's the sensor right there. They're the exact same ones that the Rock Slide Engineering one has. It's the same harness. It's the same controller. Literally, the only thing that's different is the board. So the nice thing about this, too, is that if for some reason in the future you decide, hey, I need something that's going to be, more durable and I can take on trails and not have to worry about it getting damaged from impacts, you should, and I'm not positive on this, but you should be able to swap just the boards themselves out for the Rock Slide Engineering ones and essentially plug them right in, and you'd be good to go. You wouldn't have to redo any of the wiring and the sensors and all that, which is pretty neat. Again, there could be some subtle differences, but at least from what I looked at the harness. The harness looks exactly the same. The number of wires, the pins. Maybe the control box could be different, but I kind of doubt it. I mean, again, function-wise, they essentially function the same way. So close the door, and they just retract away just like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for these. Really happy with them. It drops it down a really perfect height. I mean, I'm not even worried if I do a little bit of a lift on this thing, which I actually need to do. You know, probably just like another 1.5 or 2 inches or so like that. I mean, there's no concern. This is still dropping down plenty low. Kids can get in, no problem. So yeah, I'm really happy with these. You know, and it's just another option. I think between these and the Aries Actiontrac and the Rock Slide Engineering ones are probably the two I would go with. I've seen some of the other ones. I mean, they're a little bit cheaper, but they kind of give away a little bit. Like, the thing I really like is that you essentially have 2 steps. So since this one deploys by swinging down, you still have the upper step. Most of the other ones, they drop down, but then you still have to step in again after that. And if you've got like kids and all that, that could be a little bit more of a challenge, where I feel like this one is so much easier as a result. So that's pretty much it. Have any questions on the install? Really wasn't bad. I mean, it was super easy. I have a manual, and you know, so people try to run the wire inside, going through the clutch grommet. Obviously, the clutch master cylinder is not accessible on mine, since I actually have a master cylinder in it. So, but there actually is a little grommet that is. Hold on, let me put this down for a second. Okay. So there actually is a little grommet right there. There you go. So right sort of behind the horn, there's a little grommet right there that I ran the wire through. So you can see that's that like braided wire that's under the main engine harness. And I cut a slight hole through there and popped it right through there. Super easy to run into the car. So don't let that hold you back if you're nervous about wiring. It's really, really easy. It took time. I mean, it's, you know, I'm not going to lie, it's a big job. It took me probably a good, you know, 1.5 days, I think, all in, taking my time and really trying to do things right and adjusting these things and getting them to sit right. But really wasn't difficult, and it's totally a one-person job. So hope you guys found that helpful, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.